Welcome to this week's edition of the Black Belt Newscast. It is November 10th, and it is Friday. We always come to you live on Friday. I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher of the Black Belt News Network.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer and reporter.
We have so much awesome news, and we can't believe that it's getting so close to the holidays. So let's get started, because we're going to talk at the end of this about holiday planning. So get you guys started and ready for the holidays and to know what's coming in the Black Belt. But first, let's talk about a change, and let's get to the newsy stuff in elections. So there are some municipal elections, and Selma's is one of them, that are supposed to hit in 2024, but they are actually going to be in 2025. They have been expanded by 1 year because the municipal, it's very hard to run these elections. So they have the state Secretary of State has moved the elections so that they are not at the same time as the federal. And so Selma is one of those being affected by that. So your mayor, Perkins, and the current council members are actually going to serve an extra year. Now, this is not the case for Dallas County. There are some commissioners that are up for re-election next year and some judges. So those will still be on the ballot, but it will not include Selma City. So that's a little different, isn't it?
A little different from past, but in order to make it less confusing and also to make it so that more people will be likely to get out and vote, probably a good move.
Yeah, and it's really to make it easier on the poll workers.
Yeah, the poll workers. God bless them. They are God save them so much.
Another big topic in the Black Belt is healthcare,
Yes.
and it is really tough. We have a wonderful hospital here, Vaughan Regional Medical Center, and Vaughan has come up with a way to reach out into the community by opening a dialysis center, and this is going to be on US 80. And the sign is up already. There's work being done inside. And this is behind Huddle House. It's in the complex that's across from Selma Mall. The idea with this one is that it will be where you can get your dialysis outpatient. And it is in partnership with a company, Innovative Renal Care Center, that's out of Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. And they will be doing all this work. I hear it is very nice inside. It's got the TVs. It's got a lot of the latest technology. And it is kind of a creative way of reaching the community with needs. Of course, renal failure comes with diabetes often. And that is something we have a lot of here in the Black Belt. So this is it's very similar to the cancer center, which had closed in Selma for quite a while. You couldn't get chemo here. And Todd, your family is familiar with that setup because Sarah had breast cancer recently.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, it was so nice to be able to go, 5 or 10 minutes away from home instead of an hour or hour and a half away from home to get treatment. So it's nice when the medical centers put those type of outpatient services close to home.
Yes. So especially when you're going to get sick from what you're going through, you're not going to want to drive another hour. It's a blessing, some of the services that Vaughan has brought back to make it better for us here. And also, I am hearing that they have other plans of looking at other properties that are available, storefronts that could be other outpatient options to increase our offerings here in the Black Belt. And we're the Queen City, so it might be a trip to come from some of the other markets to here, Camden or otherwise, but it's still better than going to Birmingham or Mobile or Montgomery.
Exactly. Makes it easy.
So let's switch to a happier topic.
Okay,
the fair.
Please.
The Central Alabama Fair came back this year, and they just finished last week, and we had a pretty good crowd. Tell us what the organizers said.
Well, Russell Haskell, who was running the show this year, said that they had a really good crowd. They don't have any official numbers yet. They're still counting and getting all the ticket numbers, the exact numbers, but they were real happy. He said he saw smiles on everyone's faces. There was good food. There was good time. There was one of the things that he mentioned was the petting zoo, how much fun everybody loved the petting zoo and some of the exotic animals that were there. His sister-in-law, Lynn Haskell, is over the pageant. And she was just absolutely thrilled at how the pageant turned out. This was the first year the pageant came back after COVID. And they had the 3 different categories, Little Miss, Tiny Miss, and Miss Central, I believe it was called. Of course, the story's on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and all the details. But the pageant was so popular, they had a good turnout and good participation. A lot of people ask, well, what about the older girls? So it looks like next year they're going to entertain the idea of bringing back the older girls categories. So it looks like, and even Russell was saying that he's got some plans and some ideas, and the committee does, for next year's fair to make it even bigger and better. So this year's fair was a great success and a lot of fun, but they're going to build on that to make next year's even better. So it sounds like a good positive.
Awesome. Well, I'm with Selma Rotary, and we made cozy dogs for the 3rd year.
Yeah.
That is the tradition. We took it over from Civitan.
Oh, yeah.
We have their secret recipe. Go to Black Belt News Network. I actually shared a video that I made on how to make a cozy dog. You can also find it at the Rotary page, Facebook page, Rotary Club of Selma. I thought it was fun. And we do have, I'm not going to tell you the batter recipe. That's a secret. But it was really cool to show them how to do it in the fryers. Anyway, I thought the fair was great. I was there almost every day. And oh my gosh, those little bitties in the pageant. Oh, they're so cute. Oh my gosh. And I have a list of the winners and photos of the winners on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. So if you're curious how your little bitty fared at the fair, you can check it out at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
Like that was good.
Hey, let's talk about more events. Christmas is coming, as I teased at the beginning of this newscast. We are going to talk about Christmas on November 10th.
Can you imagine? If you're going to be in a parade or in a Christmas event, now is the time to make those plans. So it just blows my mind that we're already at that time.
Right. And blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, we have a list. There are 2 different stories on there. One is a list of the events that are coming up in all of our communities in the Black Belt. And also another one has a list of how to give back in the holidays. There's a lot of people that want to give presents. And there's also, if you need a little help this Christmas, there is a list of where to go for giveaways so that you can make sure your little bitties have a good Christmas. But first, let's talk about Christmas on the River in Demopolis.
It is the biggest and the most popular. It is fantastic. If you've never been, you need to go. They've been doing this since 1972, by the way. That's some of the floats that'll be on the river parade that they're under construction right now. I got a chance to talk to Andy Renner, who's the head of Christmas on the River, and I talked to Mike Black, who is the chairman of the night parade floats, and he's been building them for 30 plus years. And there's one right there that's being worked on that's on the actual pontoon floats. Some of them, those panels, they'll be double. They'll have one on one side, one on the other. Some of them, like this one and the one that was in the previous scene, will be just them, just a single. There's one of the new ones for this year. And they change them out every so often. The only ones that stays the same is the Christmas on the River Elves float that was originally built by Jim Bird back in 72. God rest his soul. He passed away. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that you really would enjoy that. And
the lights are beautiful.
Parade and more too. So,
and they bring in a lot of visitors to Demopolis to see the Christmas on the River.
You know, it's amazing how many people show up for this Christmas on the River every year.
Yeah.
It triples in population for that day and that night. And of course, there's
Selma's trying to do it.
Go on now.
Selma's trying to do it.
Yeah, and Selma's got a great one coming up too, though. I mean, our parade has gotten to be really fun. We're going to be there this year.
I'm going to be in it, yes. So yeah. We've had a float for the Selma Sun. This year we're going to make it the Black Belt News Network and have a new sign. I'm really excited about being in there again and, wearing my little elf outfit and everything. And I decorate my pontoon boat, Betty Lee. And that's in the Selma one. I called and asked about being in the Demopolis one because I thought you could just sign up and go, but they made me feel a little rinky dink compared to what they're working on that you got to look at. I was thinking maybe I might be a little too small.
Well,
but
yeah,
I will
those are all sponsors. Yeah, they're big. A lot of work goes into the big ones like that.
So we have a list of all the parades that are coming up. We have Marion in there, Linden.
Right.
Linden has the Chili Fest coming up.
The Chili Fest is coming up December 8th and 9th. Christmas on the River in Demopolis is December 2nd. It's the first Saturday in December. So is Marion's Christmas Parade is also the same day. And when is Selma's Christmas
Parade? We've covered that one. Yeah, we've covered Marion's live before. I remember doing that. That was fun
parade. It's fun.
And also, let's see, on December 10th is the one for Selma. So we've got a lot going on. Go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and you will find out everything you need to know for Christmas. And also, I just want to mention, if you have a Christmas event, if you have a Christmas giveaway, send it to us at news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and I will get it out there and let everybody know that you're doing that. We can add it to the stories we have. We've also done some stories by themselves about the projects that are coming up. This is the best way to visit blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, send your news to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We also cannot finish without thanking our sponsors. Thank you so much to Randall Miller Funeral Services. We thank you so much for all that you're doing for the community and for our newscast.
It's going to be a great season, and thanks to Mr. Miller for letting it be possible for us to bring you all the information.
And follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We have so many videos. These videos of the newscast and football. Gosh, I can't even tell you how much else. So much more.
And also get bigger.
And we're doing reels that are doing really great on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So follow us. That's the only way to keep up with what's going on in the Black Belt. This is your only Black Belt newscast. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Have a great week.